Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast. Me, Matt. Before we fall for you all here on Carentan, on the Western Front. A very narrow 4v4 map with a lot of urban combat here in the center. Let's go for the players. Represent the allies. We have Obelisk. Where's the commander? There we go. With armor coming straight to the gate. And we have Orcon, also the United States. Now there's a unique thing here in Carentan where like the bases from the both sides actually split into two. Based in this river, so you have basically two fights going on. On the northern one, we also have Duel de Mule as armor company for the United States, and Adrian as airborne company for the United States of America. Represent the Germans today. We have Queen Goat as Infanteriedivision for the Wehrmacht on the southern side, and Solstice the Waffen-SS on the southern side by another commander. Represent the Germans on the north, we have Hunter straight to give it Mechanisierte for the Waffen-SS, and Diamond Pokemon as Strafdivision for the Wehrmacht, trying to get into the city here and try and hold back the Americans, but engagement's already started to begin. It is a victory point game, so that's gonna hopefully make it not last as long as other games I keep getting. But so far there's gonna be a lot of urban comm in this one. But the Americans already headed into the church here with every echelon. I'll see how long they can last there. Nice neat little thing where you have this little central island with like a building and a church with a victory point. That's a nice little setup. You know, the Americans are going to be engaging well with the Germans out here at the outskirts of the town. So Americans are slowly heading into the urban streets. Same is happening here on the southern flank. Germans also moving their troops over into positions. There's going to be a lot of fighting over the central island, I think. That the Americans are going to be echelon in there quick means they might want to see if they can keep their hold of it. It is, after all, an access to a victory point. Americans get inside the structure here. Quickly opening fire here in the Storm Grenadier. Or Storm Pioneer, I mean. That truck is filled with spent shells, I just noticed. Shell casings. Ooh, that's not good for the environment. Oh, they went out the wrong door, but they actually did not suffer that much damage. I can take on the Storm Pioneer. And that's an opening the Americans can make use of. Orcon is going for mechanized for the United States. Storm Pioneer is having long firefights here to re-echelon from that structure. No more Americans also arriving down here in the southern flank. And more firefights with the German infantry. As some more pioneers of the Wehrmacht is moving up through the streets. The Storm Grenadiers now arriving. Up here, the riflemen of the 101st trying their best to try and fight down the Fox Grenadiers here. They are getting some Grenadier support here shortly. Lots of action very quickly on this map. Carentan is very narrow, so action is very quick, as you can see. And more troops just moving through the streets here, trying to get to better angles. Germans are trying to secure the southern victory point and also the northern victory point at the same time. The Allies have been unable to get to that point. They're inside the building, killing an American rifleman. Americans suffered heavy losses so far. The Wehrmacht is holding onto their ground. The Waffen-SS now moving through the streets as well, throwing splintering grenades. Trying to provide support for their Wehrmacht brethren. It looks like there's a down the stupa here. It's probably in the middle of maintenance when this fight began. The Germans pulled back to regroup. Americans are trying to take a few shots here down range. I don't think they can beat those Storm Grenadier at that range. American 30 caliber machine gun also being rushed to the front line. Also some Pathfinders on the field. Unique Ace Scout to be able to US paratroopers. The airborne. Like to see them. 30 caliber keeping the Germans pinned down there. But the Germans have secured most of the street here and are keeping it fortified. They have been able to secure the central island as well, so they have all 3 victory points at the moment. And right now the Americans are being bled dry victory point wise. Which means the Americans are going to have to really speed up whatever they do. Whatever they plan to do. Next for American infantry coming up here with grease guns. Let's see how that turns out for them. Opening fire with their submachine guns here. The grease gun is fairly cheap, I think. Yeah, 25 munitions. Fairly cheap submachine gun. And they mowed down the Storm Pioneers out in the streets. He's being tossed about there by the folks. Oh, bad victory path. Probably just stuck around and kept moving that way. Well, the Americans are trying to push it down here, but the Germans are just too heavily keeping an eye in this area. Looks like Sorcerer's gone for Storm, so that's the MG30 we have to see here on the squads. It's not helping him against his 30 caliber machine gun. He just set up out in the middle of the road, but they're somehow winning at the moment. Or because it's meant to suppress the Storm Grenadiers, forcing them off. But the Germans are still preventing the Americans from getting up close to the central island here. All victory points still remain in German hands. But for how long can they keep that a reality? Pretty clever getting shots into the structure. The structure cannot fire back on this angle. No window that can look down here and the 30 caliber machine gun. But the folks Grenadiers are moving up with MP40s. They should have some angles here. And that's going to be more than enough to force the 30 caliber off. American coming into the field now, armed with grease guns and start some charges. Both sides are trying to be cautious here. Keep around here to support the Americans. Young Granada does some decent damage to the riflemen. Also has some American armored riflemen onto the field here. Keeps lost his gunner. I find some moving out with a silenced carbine here. The Delisle carbine, I think. The Delisle commando carbine. A stealth carbine. Here comes the armored rifleman. Trying to cover behind this down bomber. But the Allies are still losing points, so the Germans are just going to start fortifying now. They need to just work to delay the Americans. Oh, they're trying to set up while they're under fire, but the other side just read echelon. Still, they did some good damage there. Now, imagine if that had been riflemen with a semi-automatic weaponry, though. Oh, looks like a satchel charge or something went up down here. Not sure. So we have a half-track around here with some more combat engineers. The Americans are going to be like more than specialist combat engineers for this role. Which kind of makes sense, they're good at demolishing stuff. And the armored riflemen are trying to get some ground here, but you just keep an eye on everything. Every angle's being covered. Flamethrowers being equipped here on the Storm Pioneers. American Jeep is trying to keep an eye on this little angle here. Half-tracks managed to push through down here. There is a German flamethrower nearby though. Trying to get up behind. But half-track just drives. And no Panzerfaust have been equipped with the folks. I mean, they have no anti-tank capabilities. They do 4 Brandflasche. And the Brandflasche hits the half-track. It's going to force the Communists to ditch it. But it's still holding on despite the fire. And the tank rifle shot in the air. And the flamethrower half-track around here for the Germans. Germans are so far holding in the city. Also, a little bunker being established to cover the flank. Flamethrower attack gets around the corner. That'll just take out that structure. Also, some artillery call in. But so far, the Americans have not had much luck here. That flamethrower attack is being very lethal. I can see some kind of anti-tank equipment quick. Demolition charges have all been set by the Germans. As the riflemen of one of the 1st Airborne tries to push through the street on the north. Both going to be equipped with more MP40s. As the grease guns trying to do their best here. Flamethrowers are moving about. But being able to just flank through the structures is a very big deal here. Makes fighting in the streets very dangerous. As you can see. You cannot just fight normally here by moving through the streets. You can basically end up in killing fields pretty damn fast. American flamethrowers arriving though. Used by some echelon here. Quickly trying to set fire flames to the building. And MP4s are getting some good shots in. And down here the Germans still capturing ground again. Also capturing that 30 caliber machine gun for their own use. There's a Storm Pioneers now with Sturmgewehrs moving about. Also scavenging that half-track for a few extra resources, good to see. Good tank has been prepared here by the Americans. Lots of 50 caliber machine guns, but no real infantry anymore. Must have lost all the infantry. The destroyers preparing to move up there. So lack of mines, I think. The Germans are not prepared for fighting tanks. It's not yet. The Stu's being used as a giant shotgun at the moment, as you equipped its canister rounds. Which can make short work of the Germans if we can get close enough. It's basically providing cover for the Realism to advance. Basically, the destruction in front of the Stu Pioneers. And then the Stu gears open up as they come around the corner. Oh. They lack anti-tank equipment though, and now the Stuart is here. Oh, not really working out though. Hand strikes that being equipped. Another Stuart arriving. Hand strike inside destructor there. Takes that one Stuart. Not really any good luck here for the United States. Until we're going in and destructor. It actually is working out for the Americans. Germans are suddenly losing a lot of units on ground. There's a pack here keeping an eye on the center island. Now it's going to be double 50 caliber machine gun inside this structure. That's a lot of 50 caliber machine gun fire. They're also turning this into a port HQ, but not the Germans. The Americans need to get some more infantry out in the field. This is what the community is done here for. Other Stuarts also arriving here again. They need those Stuarts to be very on point. 50 calibers just keep opening fire here in the center, trying to clear out this pack. Therefore, attack remains about down there. The Stuarts now covering the structure with the 50 caliber machine guns. More Americans are trying to move through it. It's going to be the armored infantry. We're moving through an angle that they can just get covered. They can just get flanked, as you can see. Germans are covering every angle they can. 50 caliber clears up the pack. That's an opening the Americans could make use of. He still needs to get to those victory points. Germans remain more fortified about them. American airborne infantry not really doing too well here. About the last long there on the 50 caliber machine gun. Playing there. Oh! Just jipping them. I find something to get out of that. Airborne has it before they just inside this little barn. The Airborne is trying to do their best to fight from here. It's not been the easiest fight for them. 50 caliber machine guns on the move. War is aiming down at this forward American HQ, but the 50 caliber is just moving in. That's a 2 command tank. No, that's command tank. Just a Lux is moving about. Coming weapons trying to get close here. They might actually succeed. Yeah, I don't think the 50 calibers should have gone in there. They have been suppressed though. Now with the Lux here, I don't think the 50 calibers can stay there for long. Rear assault also going in. Cleaning out the church. But the Stuart still puts him down here. Info Apex gonna try to hold, but I don't think it can hold. I think you sight on it. You lose sight of it? Okay. Americans trying to finally take a point down here. But for how long? Panzerfaust start being equipped slowly on the Stuarts. Not the Stuart, the post here. But the Germans also push through up here with a Baby Tiger, unique to Staff Division. Basically an up-armored Panzer II. Very good for assaulting a position against the infantry. Allies not doing too well on the northern flank here. The Suga team is going to try and get on the flank here. But the Baby Tiger changes target. The Suga does hit. There's a deflection shock, but it did take some damage because of it. Ooh, Greyhound got destroyed there. It's not looking good for the United States. Double Stu is being prepared here by the United States, but I don't think it's going to help. Stuart down here has been cleared out and been captured by the Germans. Okay. He also has some Jaegers arriving here in the fields. Not sure that's the best unit for urban environments, but who am I to judge? I'm sure they'll do fine. Jaegers are generally pretty good at what they do. Baby Tiger's now just oppressing any airborne and tries to reveal themselves. And the Lux are just forcing the Americans off wherever they meet them. We also have a Puma coming up behind us. The Germans going in for a lot of lighter vehicles in this one. which I do appreciate. We barely get to see the lighter tanks and lighter vehicles of the Wehrmacht. Ooh, that might be a composite B. A composite B in the Panther II. That's the Panther II gun. I'm just going to try and decapture the structure here. Takes a little bit to do, but once they do it, they Americans obviously lose that structure. Instead, they decide to go inside this structure instead. Huh. We have a Sherman now arriving in A2. And this is going to be a little bit harder for the Germans to fight because they just have a Puma there. They don't know there's a Sherman already. The Puma's not going to do well against the Sherman in frontal engagements. Never mind. Puma's actually fairly decent. Actually, jammed the turret. We're trying to go on the hunt here. Oh, that was almost a friendly kill there from that recoilless. The Sherman doesn't seem like it survives. Picks up the Stroop Pioneers too. They need repair as well, so the Sherman coming up here. Baby Tiger might be good, but Baby Tiger cannot fight a Sherman. Well, Baby Tiger's been relocated to the southern flank. Try and push the Americans back down here. Not looking good for the Americans. They need to do something to turn this around. I'm not sure what. They do have another Sherman coming here, but still no infantry from the armor coming in the southern flank. Do another Sherman. That's an A3. Electro mechanized. Basically just an overall bit of Sherman. Still the Sherman 75, a turret and gun. But it's on the ECA chassis, the HVSS, so it's a lot better at basically everything. A2's having a fight up here with an F1. Hands strike hits. Crew coming fire. But the F1 gets taken out. Should have to pull back for repairs. But now there's an A3 ship. Perhaps the Americans can do something with it, but they have lost most of their points. They need to do something or they'll just lose because of that timer. Clearly the American command staff is starting to think that it's not worth it trying to assault this place. Oh, good satchel charge though, destroying that set of building blocks. Ooh, a lot of damage there. Also denied the structure for the Germans. Howitzers starting to be here in the backlines by the Wehrmacht. They're preparing for things to escalate further. Panther II's going back for repairs. Driving through some walls to achieve so. A2 pushes up and destroys the unbreakable vehicle. Looks like it might have been a Jeep. Pack raiding around the corner. And we have an airplane flying overhead. Are they trying to drop in airborne? They're dropping in airborne on the island. It's a very risky jump. Looks like they succeeded for the most part. That's a very risky jump, like straight out of Medal of Honor airborne. I guess they are very desperate at this moment. They barely have any points left. Looks like it might actually pay off. I managed to decap to the point. Still losing them for now. They will slow it down. Baby Tiger moving around. Artillery being calling here on this side of the town. They're doing their best to try and keep the Allies at bay. A2 Sherman moving through the streets now. With another A2 for support. And 4J might be a little bit too close quarters here. German tanks do not perform as well in close quarters like this. Because the Allies just have a higher chance of penetrating this close. Yeah, it takes out the Panzer IV. Suddenly the Germans are suffering heavy casualties. I guess now ever since the Allied armor finally arrived. Oh, Demonstrator goes off, denying the structures to the United States. Oh, but yeah. The Americans really need to get to another point quick. They're about to run out. But the Germans have lost a lot here in their desperate attempt. Trying to keep the Allies off the points. And looks like the Germans are just plowing through any defense the Germans might have had. Germans were not prepared for Sherman push. Mostly captured. The Americans have actually turned it around with 95 points left. Damn! That's not a turnaround we get to see often. And now the Germans are really going to be in crisis mode. They've lost practically everything on the northern flank. Southern flank is still fairly fine, unit-wise, but they're still being outmaneuvered by Shermans. It's like General Patton finally sent his forces. Ooh, then we're just destroying one Sherman there. That's a good trap there from the Germans. Not sure what they're trying to do with this Sherman though. Pioneers have like no anti-tank equipment. They are using flames on it though to try and slow it down. But it's not helping him against the machine gun. Panzerfaust on the rear of it though. Jäger's coming out. Use their own Panzerfaust. Does not penetrate. They use a lighter version of the Panzerfaust in case you're wondering. But Panzerstrike takes it out. But the Americans have turned it around for now. Now the Germans are just going to level the city. In response. Typical Nazi trick. Well, that did not really do that much, actually. That's supposed to not do that much damage. The Germans still need to recuperate. They have time to recuperate. They have the time. They're no rush like the Americans are. Well, better word. That's the German casualty rate is really starting to dial off. As this casualty rate gets very high, the Germans are going to have a hard time replacing it. Apparently Orkan might be lagging. Typical. Okay, still trying to clear that commander bunker. A little bit slow going. Commander bunkers are very hard to take out unless you use dedicated high explosives. Just firing AP rounds and it will not do that much, as you can see. After going here with some more SS Grenadiers. But it feels like they're just being thrown into a meat grind at the moment. Because with the Shermans nearby, they really cannot go for that point. Oh, it's a flamethrower half-track combination here. We might actually go for the hunt here. One more Shermans are arriving though. Oh, it's an opening fire near the Shermans. And to keep this airborne on the ground. And down here, the Americans are still trying to intend to go for the point. The Germans are doing everything in their power to try and keep this point under their control. Stock D moving up the street. Having a fight here with the A3 Sherman. And so far it seems like it was winning out. Germans also going for the central victory point. Just need to keep these points in German hands. And they'll win. Just for a little while longer. Northern point seems firmly in Allied hands at the moment. Germans are going for a full-on offensive here. Yeah, I don't think the Germans are geared for dealing with all these Shermans on the northern flank. Because that is a lot of Shermans. They can go for the Waffen SSH HQ here. German going for the center here. You guys need to do something. And down here, the Allies are still ensuring they're not losing points yet. So we'll start to appear to support and cover the southern flank. We also have civil heads trying to help. It's going to be difficult now that the Allies are controlling points again. And the Shermans just keep on there with their rampage up north. The Wehrmacht and the Waffen SS are not really sure what to do. There's not been a lot of tech up from the Wehrmacht yet. They have finally started to get some Panzer IV H's now. Working towards it. Will it be a little too late? That's the question. Most of the Shermans have to pull back anyway. It's probably for the better. It's gonna allow the Germans to have a little bit more time to work with. But the southern flank is now starting to slowly fall to the United States. Artillery going in the German positions. There's some light artillery strikes. Not really hitting too much. Yeah, let's execute the central island again. Shermans are being the usual menace, but they need to get some repairs. They've taken some mobility damage. Probably from the stupid fruits, I'm imagining? Or something else. Because the amount of Shermans is allowing the United States to push through now. Sherman is such a good tank for just suddenly doing this. So cheap and still fairly good at what it does. Yeah, but I'm being flanked by some Panzergers, probably throwing an incendiary grenade. Yeah, that's incendiary. That's gonna be a dead airborne school. Oh, never mind. One survives, but gets shut down anyway. Panzergers can really do much on their own. Yeah, get shot to pieces. Panzer for H down the field here to try and fight back the Shermans. It's gonna have its work cut out for it, especially when they can get penetrated by recoilers like that. Oh, I'm penetrated by a Sherman too. Also, some artillery in here in the center. Germans are doing everything in their power to try and keep the Allies off it, but it's not really working. Stock does take out the Sherman here in this street. It has to pull back for some repairs. The Shermans need repairs again. But being an urban fight has turned into very much of a tank fight suddenly. Jaegers are trying to get to the point here. There's too much fire, they have to pull out. Suddenly the Germans are very much on the back foot, I feel. And they turn this around somehow. If anything, I feel the German forces on the southern flank have the highest chance of doing that. They bring up a Stu-42. Basically a mobile howitzer mounted on a stuck. Stormtroopers also being called in. The guys on the northern flank are doing their best to try and buy time. German field police, the military police on the field, the Feldgendarm, the Kettenhunde. More packs also being ready. They need to start countering these Shermans. The Shermans really are a big problem. And the Panzer is superior at long-range combat than the Sherman, but can still be penetrated, as you can see. In fact, gets taken out. As these Shermans just coordinating so well. But the Pax now starting to get some good shots in. And the German infantry is assaulting. Taking out one of the Shermans there. Here comes the United States airborne. And that is some infantry you don't want to fight as easily head on. The 8 fuse rounds are going in here. That's a lot of submachine guns. Yeah, Germans just don't have the things to stop that. You know, down here, more artillery is just landing inside the city. So the Germans are just going to reduce it to ashes before they pull out. And then give it to the Americans. Well, their flank is falling here to more Shermans. Panzerfaust going off. Do some good damage there to one Sherman. They're being cut to pieces by all the machine gun fire. Stormtroopers gone. Wehrmacht lost a lot of their troops. And another wave of Shermans pushing forward, taking out the stock. Suddenly the Germans have suffered a lot of losses here. I'm sure this Lieutenant is probably considering that here he probably should have to pull out. Although he probably has had a very nice little command post here from this little courtyard in the suburbs. Oh well, in this town. It's a little guard next to the well. But he might just have to consider pulling out at this point. It's not worth the iron for us. But he's just staying by the looks of it. Yes, he is pinned. And there goes the officer. The lieutenant is dead. Abandoned by his commanders. And lost most of his troops to try and defend the city. As the Americans just keep pushing through. That is a very weird situation down here. And now they've been spotted. Getting shot to pieces. And up here, the Shermans also still applying pressure to the north on German defense. Shermans is just so good. Airborne work alongside the Shermans here. I did not expect this to just suddenly turn around. I was actually sure the Americans would lose a little bit ago, but the arrival of those Shermans just completely shifted the battle. Transformation is coming up here to try and hold the line. But it's going to have a lot of work caught up for this, as I said before. That's a lot of Shermans, including an EC-8 now. A full-blown EC-8. One Sherman gets taken out there, though. Small Tinder gets called in, 105s. Panzer 4, J Command tank and Panzer 4 on the northern flank, though. Trying to buy some more time. They're being hit by recoilless rifles. This flag is under American control at the moment. That's actually a bazooka. No, that is a recoilless rifle. Never mind. That's a special touch trying to buy themselves time, but not enough. Fragmentation being launched here from the Sherman. Not the Sherman, the Panzer 4. Sherman gets taken out by the Panzer 4, though. As more American artillery just lands around them. I think it was Calliope. The 114mm Calliope rush. The Germans are doing a pretty big last-ditch assault here. Oh, they were moving into a 50 caliber machine gun. Yeah, that could pierce straight through the half-track. Took his foot also landing in with his rockets. But the airborne are pressed down here, coming the flank. Great assault going out. And the American armored force is just pushing out here. They pushed the Germans all the way out the city. The Germans probably need to be considered they've lost this area very suddenly. I wonder who's going to try and give the words of this defeat over to high command. Someone is not going to be pleased. Oh boy. Not as long as the other fights I've seen, which is probably a good idea because such hour-long fights can be quite tiresome, but this one has been pretty good. A lot of action so far. The sudden turnabout, though. The sudden turnabout was just so immense. Like, I did not expect it like that. Like, the Allies were just losing from most of the early and mid-game, and suddenly the Americans just come with the Shermans and turn it around instantly. The Germans are probably starting to get quite desperate. I don't even think the Germans can get enough units to try and make a comeback anymore. The Americans just applying so much pressure. M10 got shot up there by Panzer 4J. Probably not get close to the airborne though. Those are the Germans who call it a DG, or at least one of them are. 76 arriving here. Clears out the Panzer 4J command tank. The Americans are just waiting here. They don't have to push into the German base. And indeed, this point of German surrender. What a good and sudden change in a 4v4 on this map, Carentan. Damn. Ow. I hope you all enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.